Hey everybody, welcome back to hauolipuatarot. I'm here today with your weekly pick a card reading for the week of July 5th through July 11th. I'm going to go ahead, hop right into the collective reading because there was quite a bit coming through for this upcoming week for the collective. We start with morality, doing what's right for the collective, doing what's right for the whole of the people, really stepping into doing what you need to do to be part of a community. Then we have determination in reverse. We have, I'll lift them up so you can see, this is the rune of masculine energy, this desire to go, this desire to move. So this reverse and then this rune on top of it, because it's just where they came out, was interesting to me. And then they're kind of hard to see with their lava hollow, but we have solitude and Cancer that came out for these cards. And I thought that was eerily fitting for what I perceived to be coming up. One, we're in Cancer season. And two, we're seeing some stuff rising up. We're seeing some physical manifestation of things going up. We've seen COVID numbers going up in certain places, and I didn't know that this was even a political issue. This was a healthcare issue to me. So I'm not trying to get political about it. I'm speaking from a healthcare perspective. We're seeing the numbers go up. I imagine that that's going to put us back into some solitude during this Cancer season. People are really bummed out. They're blocked. They didn't see, for the longest time, I kept telling people if we just do the precautions, even if they're not necessary, we'll be able to get through this quicker. And I feel like a lot of the blindfolds that people had to getting together and to doing what they were supposed to do are coming off. People are really starting to see the consequence of their actions, which is leading them to change the way they're behaving. But we're also at the same time seeing groups of people rising up angry, more determined than ever. So we're seeing this conflicting clash of what boils down to morals in the collective energy. We're seeing people looking at each other from different perspectives, and really we're coming to this kind of point of tension. And I feel like this week people are going to be much quicker to speak their truth. There's going to be a lot of throat chakra energy. There's going to be a lot of realizations. There's going to be just a lot of energy in the collective. I just really feel a lot of conflicting energy. We've got this 5 of Cups, this 2 of Swords, and this 3. So I really feel in this collective upcoming this next week, we're probably going to be getting information that we are not happy about as a collective. And there's going to be some sort of, I want to say, quashed desire to uprise. So people who have been, rising up for things that are against the collective, rising up for belief systems or for healthcare decisions that are not for helping the collective but for focusing on oneself. A lot of that's going to be coming into question this week. And I say this because these were the collective cards, but when I kept going earlier, it was the Tower, the shaking of foundations, 8 of Wands, things coming in quick. The Devil stuck back in these cycles, recycling through this thing, facing our shadow sides again, be wherever they're manifesting for us at the time. And then the 4 of Swords, a period of rest, seclusion, isolation again. So I feel like this week we're not going to be getting some news that we're super hyped about as a collective. And this could be many things. It could have nothing to do with COVID. It could have something to do with COVID. It could have something to do with the Black Lives Matter movement and towards this progression of seeking equality. There's so many things going on in the collective right now. This could refer to a multitude of things, and parts of it could refer to it. So remember, this is a collective reading, And the best advice I can have for you is we are in Mercury retrograde. So as we have this desire to rise up and like share our flame, we need to remember to come from our crown chakra place, come from this place of feeling, take the time to breathe before we start to react. Know that we're coming from the good of the collective, not just the good of the ego and the self. So next week is really going to be a good week probably for us to kind of really check ourselves for Mercury retrograde season. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. Sorry it's not better news. It's just what I see, and I feel my duty to deliver the message I am being given. So I'm going to go ahead, pack up the collective reading, and we'll hop right into group number 1. All right, group number 1, welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and hop right on in. Starting with your rune, we have the rune of romance. This is a rune all about romance, relationships. This could be, it's also the Trinity, the body, mind, spirit connection. So let's see, unlock your highest potential with Astrophyllite. I think that's how you say it. I'm pretty sure. I love this crystal. I actually have one myself. It doesn't look like this. Mine looks a little bit different. But it's just such a good... It just makes me feel good. It helps me connect. So like when to use it. When it's time to step outside of yourself, like way outside, call on the energy of Astrophyllite to electrify you with superhero purpose so you can take flight. This goes right along with my advice for the collective reading, which was look from the higher perspective, look beyond the ego, look to what's helping the collective as a whole, not just you and not just like what you want. And then we have reinvention, inspiration. Ooh, okay. And then we have Taurus. I love Taurus energy. Taurus can be stubborn, So maybe there's some stubbornness. Maybe you're feeling a little resistance to stuff that's going on. Maybe you're not feeling as excited and as open. Oh, and paired. Oh, beautiful. This also seems like it could be a really inspiring time for you if you're in a relationship to make this beautiful, steady progress together. You're not exactly at the point of the full reinvention yet, but you're inspired and you're coming up with these new and creative ideas on how to communicate with each other, how to build a new life together, how to move forward. We've got Knight of Wands, Ace of Wands, ooh, the Hanged Man. Yeah, no, not surprising. Everybody's going to be going into this pause state. So the reinvention's not here yet. But look, all this inspiration's coming in. In your physical realm, this new, beautiful, inspired beginning. And then in your mental realm, some sort of message coming in, which again is not surprising. We all know that, like in the collective reading, I said we're probably going to be getting some news next week that we're not super hyped about. And so I really see that for you. But for you, you may be getting news that's inspiring you, driving you forward, helping you start to develop and plan. You're really tuning into this steady energy in tune with your masculine and feminine. Then we, like with these two, we have dive under the water. Come on, focus. Dive under the water and align your inner compass. So you, group number 1, are going through this beautiful time of inspiration and rediscovery in yourself. So you're not quite at this reinvention, but you're starting to see new areas of growth in you. You're starting to shift perspectives that you hadn't considered before that feel more in alignment with who you are. You're really diving into yourself to unlock your highest potential. You're following this inner compass, and that's requiring you to take kind of this, it sounds counterproductive to say that you're doing all of this, but it's requiring you to take a pause. In this pause is where you're able to really feel that inspiration. So instead of focusing on the action of the reinvention, right now you're in this beautiful, inspired planning phase. You may be in a beautiful new beginning in a romantic relationship. You may be working on a project together, starting a project together, thinking of the next steps you want to take, really making a plan for this upcoming time, looking beyond the now, looking at kind of the rest of this year and really being like, all right, we're going to make kind of like a plan on how to make sure on what we want the rest of this year to look like. We're accepting that we're not going back to this old ways. Like, we're starting to accept, like, okay, the old ways are out. What do we want our new normal to look like? What do we want our new world to be? And you're at the very beginning of that. You're really starting to bring it down and ground it into your mental space this week, into your spiritual space this week, group number 1. It's a really beautiful time to pause, to sit, to sit with your inspiration and to really work with those creative inspirations, planning how you want to handle them in the future. And I know there's not a lot of planning in this, but for me, it's all that like Taurus energy. And I know Taurus is doing steady and continually going, but to me, Taurus is also grounded and careful. And then with the paired, it's kind of like, I know that this sounds silly to be getting from this card, but it's what I'm getting. It's this discussion amongst yourselves of how to make these next steps, but you're in this paused state right now while you do it. But you do have all this inspiration, so 3 whole cards of inspiration driving you to start to dive deep. You've realized a lot of your values and you're aligning yourself with them, and you're making the plan on how to follow this path, how to bring your personal mind, body, and spirit into this alignment. Group number 1, this is a beautiful week for you to really sit with your inspirations, take some time to disconnect, look at things from a different perspective this week, and find the inspiration in that towards moving down these next steps. I'm so sorry about this glare. I had to turn the light on because I'm recording much later in the day than usual. I apologize for that. But you've got some beautiful things coming, group number 1. I'm so excited for you. If you liked this reading, go ahead and leave a like down below. If this resonates with you, leave a comment. If it doesn't, that's cool too. Take what resonates, leave the rest. I hope you have the most beautiful week, group number 1. See you next time. All right, group number 2, welcome to your reading. I'm so excited for you. Let's go ahead and hop right on in. So starting with your rune, you've got the rune of waves. This is a rune of movement, news, information, things coming in, you making movement. It's a very flowy card, and this can be intellectually, it could be physically. There are many ways that many ways that rune can manifest. So let's see, we've got rhodonite, go with your heart. Blue calcite, act on your dreams. Ooh, so it really, I feel like you are being asked to go take some action on the dreams of your heart. Like, there's this pink and then there's this blue, so maybe it's like speaking about something. I don't know. Let's look at this card. Ooh, synergy. Look at this. You've got the 3 butterflies on this card. So pretty. Sorry, it's I love this deck. It can just sometimes be a little hard to see with its beautiful rainbow lava cardstock. I absolutely love it for in person though. This synergy is all about that mind, body, spirit connection, really grounding down through your crown chakra. And can I note, look at the color palette of this so far. Very dreamy, very sweet. And then looking at this, we've got gratitude. Oh, you got 3 goddesses. Enlightenment. I'm going to need to scoot everybody over. Enchantment. Oh, gorgeous. Group number 2. You have a very magical week ahead. So let's see. We've got 7 of Cups. Am I just holding the... I am. I'm just holding these upside down. 7 of Cups. Wands. 3 of Swords. And then we've got 2. And we've got... Oh, look. Deal with the dirt and digest your past. Ooh, I'm going to say this right up because I just got this message directly into my brain. It felt like a little lightning bolt. Some of you are getting over a very tricky ex who you had lots of dreams with, or who deceived you, or who felt deceived you a lot, because you have all this illusion right here. And then you have this magician, which the magician is, oh, you can't see, it's blurry. There you go. Now you can see a little better. I'm so sorry about this glare right here. I'm going to use this rune to help tip that up just a bit. And that helps just a hair. Okay. So some of you are really processing a relationship that broke your heart, that really crushed your spirit. And this week, with the retrograde ending and with Venus retrograde ending especially, we are in Venus retrograde. This is where we are still solidifying all the lessons that we learned during Venus retrograde. Here, I gotta scoop my table for a second. Oh, so sorry I made you shake. My legs are crossed and I need to uncross them. So sorry. But also really not that sorry. I wish I could be more sorry. But anyway, group number 2, there's some relationship in your life that you are releasing finally. Either you're in a relationship and you guys are working through these multiple issues and it's painful and you're dealing with the dirt, or you are moving on from a relationship. Some of you may be leaving a relationship because you've reached this realization in yourself. This applies to no matter the situation in the relationship. Group number 2, you have come into this realization of your whole life. It's like you have this sudden enlightenment about your life. You this gratitude in it. You look back at all the things you've experienced with all the people you've experienced it with, and you're grateful. You're seeing how it all came into alignment to make you who you are now with that synergy, that triple butterfly. And then you have more butterflies here, and then birds here, and then traveling on the water in the swan boat there. There's so much energy of transformation, like digest your past with these butterflies, and then the moth even. So much transformation for you. You are coming into yourself. You are coming into your true purpose. You are coming into what truly makes you happy, where your value systems are aligned, and you are falling in love with yourself. You are enchanted with the amount of gratitude that you have from all this enlightenment. You're realizing all of these things, and you're ready to follow your heart. You're ready to digest this past so you can really release into this. So I feel like this bottom portion here is like what you're in or going through or have gone through just recently. And this top portion here is what you are doing / experiencing. You are ready to go with your heart and act on your dreams because you found this enlightenment and gratitude. And with this gratitude for your past and this enlightenment from the lessons, you have become more enchanted with yourself. People are more enchanted with you because you are expressing yourself more fully now. You could also be breaking free of the things that broke your heart. You are clearing out the illusions about yourself. You are mastering your own transformation in yourself, and you are healing all of this old wounding and old baggage. You are dealing with that dirt. Like, look, you are on the move. You are making progress with these things, group number 2. That is not always easy. And I know these cards are really pretty, and I know I tend to read very positive, but it's not always pretty. It can be hard. There is this 3 of Swords. That is tough. That is in your spiritual place aching, but also knowing you are empowered in and of yourself to go with your heart, to act on your dreams. This is a beautiful time to embrace yourself, a beautiful time to do, I just do a lot of journaling about the issues that you've been processing, the successes you've made, the pearls of wisdom that you can't see that. You're really far away today. Sorry. I'm usually filming much closer. You are finding your pearls of wisdom through all of this pain and through all of this heartache. And you are moving forward, group number 2. That is such a beautiful, exciting week. Even if it might have some pain, know on the other side of that, as long as you are tuning into your inner compass and actually dealing with it and processing it, digesting that past, because I really feel like it's a lot of past things that you've been through because digesting the path and dealing with the dirt. I feel like this is a lot of past energy you're moving on from. But if you're in it, know that there are lessons here, and as you work through it and actively engage and are brave enough to face it, you will find yourself transforming, evolving, and growing into this position where you are ready to go with your heart. You're ready to act on your dreams. You're ready to share this enchanting new viewpoint of the world that you have with other people. Thanks so much, group number 2. That's your reading for this week. If you liked it, leave a like down below. That lets me know that you want to see more videos of this kind, more weekly pick-a-cards. It also just lets me know if you liked it or not. If you have any video requests or ideas, leave them in the comments down below. I'm always open to ideas from the collective, especially when it's people that I'm tuning into if you're here often enough. Anyway, thanks so much, group number 2. I hope you have a beautiful week. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. Last but definitely not least, let's go ahead and hop right in. Starting with your rune, we've got the rune of Crossroads. So this is a time of a crossroads. You are at a fork in the road. There are decisions to be made. There are new paths, new options to take for you this week, group number 2 or 3. Oh my gosh. And then moving on to the crystals, we have Celestite. Tune into your serenity. Ooh. And then we also have Obsidian. Protect your soul. This is Magnesite. Get your mind right. Oops, sorry, bumped the stand. 3 very, very... The last color palette was very airy, it felt like, and this feels much more earthy. This feels much more like grounding, protection work. We've got Rhythm. Oh my goodness, I think you got the most cards. Compassion. Forgiveness. Ooh. So it sounds like you might be going through some sort of cycle, and it's time to choose a new direction. It's time to forgive yourself for the past, for having been in that cycle, for having gone through that cycle. And it's time to protect yourself by giving yourself this compassion and forgiveness so that you can move forward. By doing this, being compassionate and forgiving with yourself, you get your mind right. You get your mind back to the present and the now, to who you are currently, tuning into your own serenity. You listen. You can't even see that. I'm so sorry, guys. You tune in to your own inner gifts. You find your rhythm, and that helps you to be able to get your mind right. It helps you to be able to get into your natural flow, to be more open to forgiving yourself and others. And then we have Ebullient. This card's so cute and sweet. It's very much about being that little mouse in the forest, just resting and relaxing. And then we have Get Creative. I love this card. It's so dynamic. Like, take a look. It's so pretty. This screech owl. Get creative, everybody. Okay. And then we have Evolve into your next becoming. Yes, it is time for you to move into a new cycle. You are at a crossroads. It's time to forgive yourself. It's time to allow yourself to evolve into who you are becoming now. It's time to let yourself be who you are becoming. You have become someone else, and quite frankly, I feel like you like this person. Or it's time to set those boundaries, and you may have to get creative in setting those boundaries. So let's see, we got King of Swords, Five of Swords. Oh yeah, there's been some mental clashing, but there is clarity now. There's clarity in whatever. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can. There, I want to try to fix that glare. So group number 3, there was definitely something in your mental space. I really feel like this is more about you than interacting with other people. I feel like for you, you are at a mental crossroads where it's time to forgive yourself. I feel like you've been really, really hard on yourself. I feel like you have been putting a lot of work in to try to grow, evolve, change, shift in the ways that you want to or need to. And with that clarity you've gained, you've been able to put these swords down. And it's time to forgive yourself, time to give yourself the compassion to see that you are dancing to a new rhythm. And in that new rhythm, because like right here, there's like, you're there, but there's some resistance. That's what this Nine of Wands is in this deck. It's like you've achieved it, but you're not quite sure if you can put down the wands yet. There's a little hesitation. And I feel like it's time for you to express your creativity. Be creative. I wanted to say there's a lot of purple. There's a lot of purple and there's a lot of yellow to me and a lot of pink. There's just a lot of colors. But the way it's reading to me is this self-confidence. It's time to have this confidence. And there's this spiritual aspect to it. So maybe some of you are starting to stretch your spiritual gifts and you're wanting to start to share them with the world. You're wanting to start to communicate with them. You're wanting to start to take a different path in using them or how you share them with other people. We are in Mercury retrograde, so I would tell you to, as usual, make sure that you are functioning from a place of truth, not ego. Make sure that you're double checking everything. Make sure you're communicating as clear as you can. But it's really time for you to evolve into who you are becoming next. You're leveling up. You're finding a new rhythm. You're choosing a new path. You're turning a different direction. You're releasing these old mental fights, these old mental wars, and you are unlocking your creativity, and it's bringing this sense of peace for you. the sense of compassion. And I can tell that it's going to take time for you. So this is probably going to feel new, maybe even a little bit uncomfortable because of this Nine of Wands. This is a new thing for you to feel forgiveness towards yourself, to actually truly forgive yourself. Because it's one thing to be like, I have forgiven myself. And it's another thing to experience the true forgiveness of when you actually allow yourself to move past those things. Because it's one thing to think it and say it, it's another thing for it to actually integrate into you. And I feel like that's what's happening for you this week, group number 3. You are really integrating that forgiveness into yourself. You're putting those swords down. You're really putting them down. Or this week there's some conflict with someone, and it's keeping your mind right, keeping yourself protected, and really getting yourself grounded and right in the mind, taking that step back, being willing to forgive that person, being willing to remember we're in Mercury retrograde, we've got a lot of mental conflict going on. Having that compassion and understanding will allow you the forgiveness to overcome whatever fights come up. So group number 3, remember, stay really grounded, stay aligned with your truth. You're either going new directions, you may be both going new directions and having issues with other people. But as long as you're trying your best to function from a place of compassion, seek to understand, not just get your point across. That is very much a way that I try to live my life when I'm interacting with people who I may disagree with. I try to ask questions to help me understand their point of view better instead of just trying to assert my own. And as I seek that understanding of them, I find we get into a rhythm of seeking understanding with each other, and it fosters this sense of compassion, and it helps both of us grow. It's a creative way of communicating because not a lot of people do it. So a lot of people just butt heads. So you are, group number 3, asked to be that creative person in the way you communicate. And you don't necessarily have to be like, I forgive you, but you do find a sense of forgiveness in your heart for people when you're able to have an understanding and compassion for them. And it doesn't mean it excuses their behavior by any means. It just offers you some inner peace. Because forgiveness is ultimately for yourself, let's be honest, so that you can allow that to be released and move forward. And that's really what I see coming for you this week, group number 3. I'm so excited for you. It's going to be so beautiful. Lots of new spiritual insights. You may be seeing frogs, owls, lots of beautiful, beautiful downloads this week. So group number 3, thank you so much for tuning into your reading. If you like this, leave a like down below. If you have any suggestions or videos that you'd like to see, leave them. Trying to learn, grow, help make this channel better and more accessible for people. I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much, group number 3.